Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tom with allthingsbbq.com, and this is Chicken Pesto Pizza. Well, happy St. Patty's to everyone. Thanks for tuning in today. Sort of a bad news, good news, better news thing here. I don't have an Irish recipe for you today. That's the bad news. The good news is I do have something green, and the better news is it's pizza. So today we're gonna be making pesto from scratch. We're gonna grill off some chicken thighs inside the Rockbox pizza oven, and we're gonna put it all together for our chicken pesto pie. So we're kicking off the pesto with the heart of the pesto, which is our basil leaves. We got about 4 ounces of basil leaves here, just picking those off the stems, and we're gonna go right into our Vitamix with them. Next, we've got about a half cup of pine nuts here that I've just gently toasted in our skillet over low heat until it just starts to brown, and then stop right there. You wanna cook the raw out of the pine nuts, but if you go too far, and it's easy to go too far, you're gonna get some real bitterness out of that scorched pine nut. Next, we've got a couple of garlic cloves here. Just gonna gently press on these to get the skins to release. And then I'm gonna run these through the same grater that I'm using for our Parmesan cheese, just to break these down nice and fine right away. So that's just on the smaller side of your box grater. Take that thing down. Quick way to mince up some garlic, especially when you don't really care about the appearance of it because it's gonna go through the Vitamix anyway. So in with the garlic, and then we're gonna go 1/2 cup of olive oil. And this is a specialty olive oil that's designed for pizza, whatever that means. All I know is it's delicious. 1/2 cup of delicious extra virgin olive oil. And then we're gonna throw in just a pinch of our kosher sea salt. Maybe a generous pinch. We'll call that a 1/2 teaspoon. All right, so we're gonna start breaking this down. The only thing that's left to add is our Parmesan cheese, but we're gonna wait just a little bit so we don't completely obliterate it. Wow, check out that vibrant green color. I'd say that's St. Patty's enough. The consistency is pretty good right now. We're just gonna scrape down the sides, make sure that everything's about the same size. And you can break this down as much or as little as you want to. So I like where that's at. We're gonna go ahead and add our cheese now. That's about 2 ounces of Parmesan cheese. Let's break that up. Won't take very long at all. Let's check it out. Well, we've still got some chunks of Parmesan in there, which I like. I like that texture. I'm gonna leave it just like that. Let's give this a taste. Let's see if we're done. Oh yeah. And it's got great spice from the garlic in it. I love that raw garlic flavor. And then the Parmesan hits me. Of course, the basil's kind of the base, so that's what you get flavor-wise. But it's smooth, it's even, it's so much less abrasive than like a store-bought pesto. It takes a little bit of effort. I mean, not that much really though, right? The blender's doing all the work. I like where it's at. All right, so we'll scoop this out and we're gonna move on to our chicken thighs. Today we're gonna be cooking on the Rockbox portable pizza oven. We're gonna be grilling some chicken inside and then cooking our pizza in there as well. We wanna give this about 30 minutes to really get hot. It's got a nice inch thick stone on it, which means it holds its heat for a long time, but we're gonna give it time to really let that stone get hot while we prep the chicken. So we're cooking boneless, skinless chicken thighs today. We're gonna be cooking them in the Lodge skillet pan. I've already got some marinated. This has been soaking in our smoke on wheels barbecue marinade for about 45 minutes now. But if you've got time while you're waiting on your pizza oven to warm up, go ahead and throw it in some marinade. This has got great savory flavors, oil, garlic, lemon, thyme, all good things on pizza. Just gonna take off some of that excess marinade from the surface. Leave a little bit behind though, because it's got some great flavor to help bind our rub. Speaking of rub, today we're using the Cattleman's Grill Italiano seasoning. Fantastic Italian flavors, herbs, spices, salt, of course. So I have a really nice savory flavor profile on our chicken thighs before it hits the pesto pizza. Well, we're gonna cook our chicken here in the Lodge square grill pan. This has been in there preheating for about 10 minutes now. We're gonna lay our chicken right there. Ooh yeah, listen to that sizzle. Super hot. It's cooking already. I can smell it. It smells amazing. We'll throw this back in here. It's gonna cook from the bottom, from the pan, and from the top, from the flame. Okay, it's been a few minutes, maybe 3 to 4 now. Man, smelling fantastic. Getting a little bit of color from that flame on top. Great grill marks from the pan. Yeah, we're on our way. So we'll slide this back in and wait for these to hit 165. All right, we've hit 165. Let's pull these out. So that's pretty quick, probably about 7 or 8 minutes. Ooh, fantastic flavor. Still super juicy, but a great crunch and char on the outside. So I'm gonna just dice this up, we'll set it aside, and then we're gonna start stretching our pizza dough. So we'll start by flouring the surface. I've got my dough ball here already made up. If you guys want to check out the process on how to make this dough, check out our tips and techniques on how to make pizza dough. It's really very simple, 4 ingredients, one of the best doughs you'll ever try. All right, so I'm gonna start by forming a little crust here around the edge. There's really no wrong way to do this part of the process, so if you want to use a roller and roll it out, go ahead. This is just the way that I like to do it. This dough is pretty cold, so I'm just gonna stretch it gently to start. Stretching evenly. Now, one of the things that you can do is you can stretch it on the surface, but what I find is a little bit easier to do is to pick it up and just let gravity do the work. Just keep moving that around. Start to let it thin out evenly. And then when you get a little bit of room, you can get this on top of your hands and start to pull gently. There we go. So now we can start to stretch this out on top of the knuckles here. And I'm just looking to spread this out to about 12 inches in diameter, which I think we're there. And as you pick this up and look through it, you should be able to see light coming through the dough. So pretty good. We got a little thin spot here, but otherwise fairly even. You can work to make this a perfect circle, or we can make it sloppy and call it artisan. All right, so a little bit of flour on our peel. We'll just go ahead and throw that on there and build the pizza right here on the peel. We're gonna start with our pesto. This is gonna be the base for our pizza today. We'll just spread a thin layer. It's got some powerful flavors, so we don't wanna overdo it. And then once we got that pesto down, we'll come in with some of our sliced chicken. This has already been cooked once, remember? So we don't need to get it cooked a lot more. That's why we'll kind of hide it near the bottom. Start tearing up some fresh mozzarella. Place that around here. And then I've just got some cherry tomatoes. I'm gonna cut those in half, just sort of nestle those in as well. Beautiful, colorful pie. Not too many ingredients. We're starting to get loaded up. I wouldn't go much further than that. The rock box is sitting at about 750 right now. We're just gonna launch our pizza here. And then we just wait. We're looking at about every 45 seconds or so. We wanna pull this out and rotate it so it browns evenly. Just starting to get some brown on that back side. Yeah, just a nice little bit of browning there. We don't want to overdo it, trying not to scorch it here. Now we've been running kind of a low to medium flame this whole time. I think now that we're almost at the end here, I'm just gonna crank it up a bit to kind of get those brown spots that we're looking for on top. All right, that's looking pretty beautiful. Let's call it good. As soon as this comes off, I'm gonna hit it with just a little bit more of that Italiano seasoning just to let that melt into the melted ingredients there. Also gonna do some fresh Parmesan right over the top. So that's about a 2 to 3 minute pie, just depending on how high that flame is. This one came out about 230 to 3. We use about 1.5 thighs of chicken meat on each pie if you're trying to do the math in your head. I'll put all the numbers in the recipe and the link down below. The important thing to know right now is that the longer I talk, the less likely I am to burn my mouth on this pizza. So I'm just kind of stalling. Okay, let's get to the pizza. Ooh, yeah. Pillowy dough, but a nice little crunch on the outside. Look at this bright, beautiful piece right here. Oh, it's holding together though. Great color on the bottom. All right, let's dig in. It's still hot. Man, love the mozzarella pole on the cheese there. The fresh tomatoes, just a burst of fresh, bright flavor. And of course, that herbaceous pesto with the savory chicken. It's all working together really well. But man, I love this pizza dough. I'm just eat this dough all day long. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to check out allthingsbbq.com for all of the products featured in today's video. If you enjoyed the recipe, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments, or there's anything you'd like to see me cook, let me know in the comment section down below, and let's be good to one another. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, head over to allthingsbbq.com/thesauce. All Things Barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.